Can you build a house without a BOQ? Technically, yes, but here's what they won't tell you. Most projects that skip the BOQ end up with broken budgets, delays, and unfinished work. Hi, I'm your construction partner. Welcome to our channel where we help you avoid the pains of building a house by sharing tips and tricks from real-life construction experiences. So what is this elusive BOQ? Why do most builders tell you to skip it? And can you still have one without a quantity surveyor? Let's get started. First off, BOQ stands for Bill of Quantities. It's a document that lists every single work item involved in your construction project. This includes excavation, rebar, concrete, tiles, electrical, roofing, and so much more. Each item has three important values: quantities, unit costs, and total costs. Without it, you're essentially flying blind. Imagine trying to drive without knowing the roads, traffic, and fuel consumption. A BOQ is like your GPS. It keeps you on track and avoids costly surprises. But hold on, let me let you in on a little secret. Contractors often push package deals to keep things simple. Sounds appealing, right? Well, not really. Most homeowners go for a lump sum price because they want simplicity and ease. But what gets left out? Lighting, paint, cabinets, site works, permits, and sometimes even professional fees. You find out about these oversights only when it's too late, like when your contractor asks for extra money or when you see half-done work. That's why a BOQ is essential, especially if you want to save money. By the way, did you know that the average cost of building a house in the Philippines is around 2,500 pesos per square meter? But that's just an estimate. If you want to know how much it will actually cost you to build your dream home, watch this video here. Now, let's talk about why most people skip the BQ. First off, some clients don't trust their contractors enough to discuss every small detail. Maybe they think it'll take forever or that their contractor will somehow cheat them. Here's a pro tip. Choose a builder that you can have an open dialogue with. If there are red flags such as hidden charges, incomplete works, or a shady contract, run away fast. Another reason is that contractors might be afraid of losing the job. You see, breaking down a project into small items makes it easier to compare bids, and guess what? You'll probably find inconsistencies between contractors. Some may purposely underbid to win, then change the terms later on. That's why having a BOQ helps. It lets you compare apples to apples, not oranges. Here's a real story. We had a client who wanted to build a two-story house, but she liked the designs we prepared and decided to hire us. However, she didn't want to get a quantity surveyor, so we asked her if she could get a trusted contractor. She knew someone who built houses in the province and thought highly of him, so we went ahead and worked with that contractor. Fast forward to the BOC review stage. Our client told us to just make an estimate since she knew the contractor was capable enough. We made an updated estimate based on the latest market prices and sent it to them. A few days later, the client informed us that the contractor would like to meet and discuss some concerns regarding the estimated costs. We obliged and met with them at a nearby restaurant. During the meeting, we discovered that the contractor was asking for a significant increase in the overall budget. He claimed that the current estimates were too low and would uncover the actual costs of materials and labor. After some negotiation, we revised the BOQ and increased the budget by 20%. Then came the groundbreaking day. We visited the site and checked on the progress. Everything seemed fine until we saw that the footing stage was already finished. This was alarming because we noticed that the footings were UNT as detailed as shown in the approved structural plans. We raised this issue to our client and asked her to look into it. Eventually, she hired another engineer to review the shop drawings and investigate the map. It turned out that the contractor had deviated from the structural engineer's plans without approval. The second engineer ordered the contractor to break and recast the footings, which took an additional 15 days to complete. Meanwhile, the contractor continued working on the project, but we kept a close eye on him to ensure he followed the approved plans. Fast forward to the turnover stage. The house was almost complete, but there was still a lot of punch list items. For starters, the stairs leading to the second floor didn't match the approved drawings. The handrail was supposed to be straight, but it had sharp turns, making it difficult to climb. Additionally, the contractor hadn't installed the steel railings on the second floor, which were clearly indicated in the plans. On the interior, we found many incomplete and uncoordinated works. For example, there was no light switch near the front door. There was no paint on the exterior wall openings, missing plumbing connections, and so on. These oversights caused our client to spend an additional 200,000 pesos just to finish the works. Although the house was now complete, our client wasn't happy. She felt stressed and frustrated throughout the entire process and asked us to prepare a checklist to monitor the construction. That's when we sat down with her to debrief. We asked her why she chose not to hire a quantity surveyor, and she simply replied that she didn't know much about it and assumed it was unnecessary. We explained that a BOQ could have helped prevent many of the issues they faced. With a BOQ, they could have verified the quantities, compared prices, and tracked progress more as. So what are the benefits of having a BOQ? Well, First, it helps you stick to your budget. By breaking down all the costs, you can see exactly where your money is going. Say goodbye to unexpected expenses and hello to financial peace of mind. Second, a BOQ helps you track progress. Each item has a scheduled completion date, so you can see how your project is progressing. Third, it helps you spot overruns early. If the cost of cement increases, you'll know right away. This gives you time to adjust and avoid surprises. Fourth, it simplifies changes. If you want to add a window, it's easy to update the BOQ. No need to rip up the whole contract. Fifth, it builds trust with your builder. Both parties know exactly what's expected. This reduces confusion and potential conflicts. Finally, it provides leverage during disputes. If the contractor claims more money, you can refer to the BOQ for guidance. Let me share another story. We had a client who hired a contractor to build a 4 million peso house. They didn't get a BOQ at first, but halfway through the project, they realized something was off. The materials being used were cheap, the workers were inexperienced, and the contractor kept asking for more money. At that point, they brought in a quantity surveyor to review the project. The quantity surveyor found that the contractor had used lower quality materials than specified, had cut corners in several areas, and had not followed the approved plans. On top of that, the contractor had not properly accounted for variations or changes to the original scope of work. As a result, the client ended up paying more than 100,000 pesos to fix all the problems the contractor had caused. Not only that, but the entire project was delayed by several months due to the need to redo certain works. In the end, the client had to pay the contractor for all the extra work he had done, plus the cost of fixing his mistakes, plus the cost of the delay. Can you get a BOQ without a quantity surveyor? Yes, you can. Your architect or engineer can provide a basic BOQ. You can also use templates and guides. We created one for you, downloadable, for free. It might be the most important document you bring to your build. Bottom line, don't gamble with your house project. Don't build on assumptions. We've seen too many projects suffer because of incomplete plans. Avoid the stress and headaches and download the BOQ Starter Kit. Plan smarter, not harder. If you found this video helpful, please give us a thumbs up. Comment below if you have any questions and subscribe for weekly videos like this. Share this video with your friends in the home building group. Until next time, happy planning.